And now it's share screen. I don't want to share screen. Oh, wait. I hear recording now. I don't know how to make. I'm just. Oh, it says avoid legal snags by telling you you're being recorded. So okay, you're being recorded. So
Okay.
don't sue me.
Okay.
All right. So welcome everyone to Celebrity Josh. I'm Celebrity Josh or Josh Rackless or whatever you want to call me, or whatever new name I come up for myself at some point. I want a new stage name. But in the meantime, we are recording someone with a very cool name. Is it Ania Hejnar?
You're so close.
Ania
Hejnar.
Hejnar. Ania
Yeah.
Hejnar.
Yeah.
And isn't your full name even longer on Instagram?
On Instagram, yes, I have my married name as well. So Ania Hejnar, I go by my maiden name, and my full name is Ania Hejnar Troop.
Troop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, you don't need that for your stage name.
Yeah,
Your
even
own...
Ania is just fine, really.
even sorry, what?
Even Anya is just fine, I think.
Oh yeah, you could be, because that's what I've been thinking of doing too. I want a name that's just like one word, like
Yeah.
Sting or Cher. Do you
Right?
do you think there's other Anyas out there, or could you own that?
Well, there are Enyas. There's Enya, right? I don't know if there are any solid Anyas out there, so
All right, you
we're
could.
looking into.
Yeah, you could. I mean, can you imagine? Well, I guess you'd want to also check who has like at Anya on Instagram and all of that.
Yep, I'm sure. So it's a Polish name, Slavic name. So I'd have to check out the Polish ladies and see what's going on.
There's probably a few of them. That's like trying to own Jennifer or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. So maybe not. Uh, yeah. Yeah, actually, I had my niece's name is Ayla, and I was like, oh, I should get the .com, because I'd never heard of that name before. I was like, wow, that's so unique and everything. And then I thought I'll get the .com, and somebody owned it, and I think I offered to buy it, and they're like, well, how much? And I'm like, I don't know, 25. And they're like, do you mean 25,000? I'm like, who are you? And what is this? And why do you own this or whatever? But then I've met a lot of other people since then with the same name. So it wasn't as unique as I thought. I'll have to come up with a good stage name.
Yeah.
Um, so this is the first, I think this might be the first interview I've done over Skype. I've been talking about doing it for months, probably years actually. I've been going through my old emails, and I see I've been messaging people, hey, I could interview you over Skype, and I just haven't done it. And then I've wanted to ramp it up for during the pandemic, which is happening now, and I still haven't done any. So so thank you for being my first test subject, and we'll see what this looks like and sounds like.
Well, thanks for having me.
Okay, so you are. Oh, and yeah, see, we've got lots of things going on here. We've got the phone ringing.
I my kid come in once, it's all good.
Yeah, this is, I guess, the reality of pandemic stuff, because all the talk shows are interviewing people over Skype as well right now. Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. So it's like we're a real talk show.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my gosh. So yes, you're a famous singer. So we'll introduce you. You're a singer. You sing anthems in Ottawa at the sports games. Does that kind of sum you up?
Yeah, that's one way of looking at my craft. I sing a lot of anthems and I own it and I love it. But I originally started off as a classically trained singer. So I did both my undergrad and my master's here at the University of Ottawa. And but I also really enjoy other genres of music. So I over time have began calling myself a crossover singer, which means I can kind of cross over to the classical or the contemporary modern era too.
Very cool. Um, and so, yeah, like what forms, like where do you sing? Like you sing anthems? Do you sing your own songs? Like do you have an album? Like what kind of things would you do?
Right. So I am more hired as a classical singer, and I do a lot of performances with orchestras and choirs. And once in a while, I'll do, perhaps something a little bit more modern, like the runway for Chio, for example. That happened in September. I walked down and sang with the designer. So I do really cool modern things too. We did a couple of duets. And so really I just get hired to do, I mean, I would say primarily a lot of classical singing, and then more so online or modern events. I'll do some like soft pop or musical theater, and of course a lot of anthems, which is really cool because I tie both techniques into the anthem that I sing. So if you when you hear me, it's not necessarily just pop or just classical. I like to kind of mix it up. So it's fun to experiment.
Wow. And what does classical mean exactly? Like old timey songs?
Yeah, yeah, like a lot of
Hmm.
opera, um,
Oh, so you're
and oratorio, which is a similar style, but it's often sacred music and involves choir and orchestra.
oh
Those
wow. So you'd
are
be
some of.
wearing like a hooded thing, and you'd be like a monk walking through a church singing like, oh.
Oh my gosh, actually, no, I get to wear really cool gowns and dress up as if I'm going to a ball. So it's super fun.
Oh wow. So like I could see you living in a castle sometime and just walking around singing and stuff.
That would be great.
All right, we'll have to build a castle here in Ottawa. And like so as an entertainer, what do you think of living in Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada, which isn't really it's more of a political and a high-tech hub, not really known for its entertainment. What do you think of living here?
Well, I actually love living here because there are so many choirs and sort of underground, if you will, concerts that a lot of the a lot of people don't really know about, but it's still a really tight knit community, and there are a lot of opportunities that present themselves, whether it be singing for the Governor General. Tomorrow, get this, I was supposed to sing the anthem at the Arts Award, the Governor General Arts Award, and rumor has it that Ryan Reynolds was going to be there. So I'm super bummed about that.
What?
Yeah, I know. So, oh, and Catherine O'Hara was apparently meant to be there. So, and many other distinguished Canadians receiving the award. So, that's a little bit of a bummer. But that being said, I get to have these really cool opportunities that you wouldn't even think that would present themselves, and in Ottawa gives me quite a lot of that, so I'm really grateful.
That's right. So it's kind of like you're a big fish in a smaller pond or something.
I like that. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I like to think that. Yeah.
And it's since we're on the topic of Ottawa, because I mean I'm in Ottawa as well, but because of the pandemic, we can't do this in person. Um, and I'm staying with my parents for now while I shelter and figure out what to do, and while I wait for Hollywood to discover me. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the city. People are like, "Oh, do you want to go back to?" Even today, somebody was like, "When are you coming back to Toronto?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like, how did you wind up in Ottawa?
Well, actually, I wound up in Ottawa just purely for undergrad, just
Okay.
because I wanted to be close to my family, and Ottawa U, I found a really great connection with some teachers there. And so, I just kind of stayed here. And although I have traveled for work, I've traveled to Toronto, Montreal, even New York when I was a little younger. And it doesn't really hold me back, but I really enjoy the city. It's a nice city to to raise children in. There are plenty of opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cozy town. I actually have always, well, like I say, I was born in Toronto, but when I was like after grade six, we moved to Ottawa, and then after high school, I went back to Toronto for university and college, and then wound up coming back here for a year to work and sleeping on my parents' couch. And then I was back in Toronto for many years working in advertising. But I always liked, I guess more as I got older, I liked coming back here. I found it more relaxing and pretty. Like Toronto kind of stresses me out a bit, but here it really is ridiculous. Like just the canal and the parks and everything.
Yeah. And I do enjoy traveling to Toronto for work when I do go there. I love the environment, so it's nice to be able to go there, when you can. And then come back home and just have like you said, it's nice and cozy.
Yeah, and it's not actually that far. Like I realized, like I was in Florida last month, and uh, I wound up in Tampa for a bit, and I rented a car to drive to Miami, and it was about 4.5, 5 hours, like kind of the same length. And it didn't occur to me that, oh, don't do that, just do it. I'm in one town, I'll go to another town. But here it's always like, oh, to go to Toronto, that's a whole thing. Like you could literally just drive there and come back the next day if you wanted to.
Absolutely, and I've done that many times.
Yeah. Or some guy that was helping me with the Green Party campaign, he was saying he knew a guy that would drive to Toronto after work sometimes and play drums there and then drive back. Like I don't know how he did that exactly, but yeah, it's a pretty city, and especially for singing and stuff. How do people, if somebody wants to be a journeyman singer like you, like how do you get found for these gigs? Are you on some kind of website like singers.com or something?
Well, everyone has their own journey and their own connections. Oftentimes, I definitely audition for conductors, or perhaps have already performed with certain conductors, so they welcome me back or invite me back. Um, and I do have a website, but I also I try my best to keep connected with different people and different groups of people, and I think that supporting others as well definitely helps. I try to support a lot of my friends who may be in the arts or who may be in music as well, because there's actually a lot of really great talent here in the city, believe it or not. And Ottawa has come up with some incredible names in classical music, like world-renowned names. So you'd be surprised. Like it gives a lot of opportunity, and you just have to kind of maneuver around and see where you can get a performance, and then of course keep asking around and seeing what's going on in the city. There are agents for this as well, and I've had agents before, and now I'm coming off of mat leave, so I'm also in the market of finding new communities to build upon.
Cool. Can you hear my parents in the background?
Oh no,
What?
I can't.
Oh no. I don't know what they're talking about. Sorry. What was I saying? Yeah, so that's cool. There's agents for this. Are there agents in Ottawa for this, or?
Yeah. Well, nowadays, actually, you don't have to have an agent like in your city. There are obviously many different levels of like talent agencies. So I was and am sort of on hiatus still with the Angie's from AMTI, and
Yeah.
Angie's, I'm sure you know that they do a lot of acting and a little bit of modeling. So I really, really enjoy that side of entertainment also. And then for classical singing, there are a few wonderful agencies, in Toronto, Montreal, and they simply just seek opera performances or concerts, and put your name through. And sometimes you might need to audition, or sometimes you simply, have the repertoire for it. So you get to be hired. So.
Yeah, so they'll say, "Oh, we need," or some event planner will say, we're doing the Governor General's Awards. We need like a singer." And then I guess they'll whatever the contacts are in that world will be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we got Anya. She's the one."
Well, I mean, one of a few on the roster for sure.
Cool. Like what would be your dream? Like do you have a pinnacle of like that you're striving for? Are you pretty much living the dream, or?
Oh gosh, I'm so lucky. I am living a really great dream. I used to say that my dream would be to sing for the Ottawa Senators, and so that I'm thrilled to be able to be on the roster for doing that. And so now my dream is, and I'm inspired by film, and I'm inspired by music. So I put a new thing on my dream board, and that is to be a voice for an animation movie, which would be super cool. I would love to sing, in a film.
Like in Frozen?
Yep.
Hey, look, a
Something.
kid. There's a kid behind you.
Oh, there's my
I'll
little girl.
Hello.
Say hi, Alina.
Hi.
Hello. She's always welcome. Poor
Does
thing
she,
is by herself all day.
oh no. Does she sing too?
She does sing. Do you sing, Alina? That's so great, girl. Good job.
Wow, she is really good. Huh. Obviously, you're training her well.
Well, when she hears it often enough, so.
Yeah, that's great. I was telling you on Instagram, my sister has a couple of kids and she sings and she often sits there and plays piano with them and does songs and everything. So that's really cool. Hopefully I can have my own kids one day and then it's like, oh, I should have thought of this 20 years ago because then I could have, well, I guess they'd be 20 now, but I could be doing TikTok videos with them and all sorts of fun stuff.
Well, yeah, that's cool. That's true. I do look forward to doing the videos together. Sometimes we do a little jam here and there. And my son has even my 1-year-old. He's even like jumped in once in a while because it's hard to find time in this during the crisis. It's really hard to be able to do everything that you want to with the two little ones without feeling guilty for taking time to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Sure, all parents who are working from home, I'm sure feel the same way.
Yeah, because you're seeing them there. It's especially, yeah, like I guess normally they'd be at school or doing whatever they're doing, so you're like, okay, this is my window. But now if they're in the other room, you're like, why am I taking time away from my children? They're right there. I should be spending my quality time.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting how you said it's a good city to raise kids into. That's what I've been thinking a lot of lately. I'm like, oh, I should have had kids, and this would be a nice place because I always thought, oh, I'll just be traveling the world. But you start thinking, okay, well, if you have kids, you got to sort of be somewhere and put them in school, and then you're like, well, where would you want to do that, and what's the neighborhood, and where's the parks you'll walk to, and the memories you'll build, and all of that. So I guess I was lucky to have a nice childhood with a house and a backyard and trees and a block I could walk around and friends I could play with on the street. So that's yeah. Huh. It's interesting the stuff like I start to wonder whether that world still exists you know like in the modern world the internet none of that seems as nostalgic anymore, but maybe it's just no matter when your childhood is it's going to feel that sort of
Hope so. I
yeah.
hope so. Yeah.
So your kid will one day have that memory. Remember I walked in on you and you were on a Skype call? Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That's so cute. So I guess we've got like just a couple of minutes left because you've got another call. Did you want to quickly? I was saying to you it might be fun if you taught me how to sing something or just like a little something musical, like to leave our listeners with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was thinking I could give you a little intro to some vocal warm-ups that I do with my students. And we know that the voice is obviously located in our throat, and we have the larynx and the voice box right here. So the sound that's created is a combination of the pitch that we make and the airflow. And so when we exhale and then make the sound with our voice, we have sort of like a path coming along. So the higher the sound, the more the vocal cords vibrate and the more that they tighten. And then the lower the sound, they have a lower vibration. So I always like to warm my students up by doing gentle hums first, and then finding what we call the headspace, which is kind of just doing like a sigh or a yawn. So do you want to try that?
Oh, is that like it?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And that was, more or less in your falsetto. And when I heard your voice before, which is fantastic, you are definitely, I would put you into a tenor range. So, that's songs like, or singers like Elton John, or even like John Lennon, Paul McCartney, there's a little bit of a higher sound, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely the company I would put myself in in terms of my musical success.
Cool. So in any case, why don't we continue with a little bit of a scale? So I do low scales and high scales. We try to start a little bit lower. And I have a piano here. So we would do on and ooh. My little one's coming in again.
That's fine.
I then do just a second. So
So,
we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
and what do I do? Say the numbers or say just ooh, ooh?
You can say ooh. You can say ooh.
Like, ooh.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. And then what we would do is we would just continue up by half steps. And you can join in.
Ooh. 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 That was me getting.
So I incorporate a few others before we go into singing. But since we have a little bit of time left and we were talking about the anthem, why don't we do a little bit of the national anthem?
Oh my God. And that's where we discover I don't really know the lyrics, but we'll see. We'll see.
Don't worry, this isn't going to be one of those, where it's going to be all over viral, where I'm going to give you what you need. So I like to start in a little bit of a higher key. Yes, go ahead. So I'll start with this note. Oh, Canada. Do you want to try that?
Oh, Canada.
Good. Our home and native land.
Whoa.
Our
Our
home.
our home and native land.
Fantastic. Look at your pitch is fantastic. So then we can bring it together. I'll do the phrases together. So we have two phrases there. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Your turn.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
Excellent. Very good technique. And then we always need to have our that's
In all thy they've changed it. It's not thy sons. What is it?
in all of us. Yes.
And all of us command.
That's right. And then of course we interpret with a proud facial expression, and that's how I like to sing my anthem.
Oh wow, I love it. And is it like, with the American ones, it's always dramatic, like right at the last line, it's like whatever, people start cheering and stuff. Does the end of O Canada have that kind of thing here, like on the last line?
Absolutely. I love, now originally it was written, of course, we know by Codex Lavallée, and he originally wrote it so that it goes down. So, oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. But I, being a diva that I am, I like to go up high. So I'll go, oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. And then I hold it for as long as I see fit.
Yeah. That would be what to make the crowd goes wild. Because what's the American anthem? It's like it's the what's the
Yeah.
last line? Oh,
Um, oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave, which of course is another song that I definitely have to sing when we're opposing the United States in a in a hockey game.
in a friendly match.
Friendly match. Yeah, that's right.
Wow. So I guess, if you're ever unable to do your anthem duties, you could say, no, Josh is covered. I've trained him. He's ready to go.
Exactly. I've got my understudy. That's awesome. Thank you.
This is awesome because when I did my bar mitzvah when I was 12, you're supposed to be 13, but we did it a bit early because it's in November and the relatives had to go to Florida and stuff. The cantor said, I had a really nice voice and I should pursue singing and stuff because I was singing the prayers and things. So
Wow. No, absolutely. And you have a great voice. And I mean, you and your sister sound great together because I think she's the one who does the duets with you, right?
No, actually, I sent that to, yeah, it looks like kind of my sister, but that's a woman named Cheryl that I think I met on OK Cupid at some point, and she
Sounds
played
great.
music and we did some things. So I don't think my sister and I have actually ever done music together. I think we should because she plays
You know,
piano. Yeah.
I'll say that I have a younger brother, and he has an amazing voice too, but we have also never done anything together.
Yeah, it's
So,
kind of feels, I don't know. I mean, I guess it
yeah.
depends on what your relationship was. Like obviously Billie Eilish plays with her brother and everything, and so that's
That
awesome that they do
that
that.
worked out real good. They are so good. Anyway.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, well, I'll have to get that going because I haven't done music in a long time and I miss it and yeah, so yeah, I sent you a few of my old songs on YouTube to show you so you could tell me whether I was a soprano or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean those were obviously most of them were filmed on this old digital camera that was before iPhones could film and everything. So I think it's time to do some new stuff. But I did sing I wrote a love song like 8 years ago for Elizabeth May, the Green Party leader, that went viral, and then I sang it to her in person again. I rewrote lyrics to it, asking her to leave her husband for me in the last election. I played it live to her in a bar, and she really liked that. I played it with my guitar and everything, so that was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to find a new muse because she's stepping down as the Green Party leader. So we'll see who else I can sing for.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully we can collaborate again. What do you have up for the rest of the day?
Well, I'm teaching now. Oh, I have to get going. I'm teaching until 7:30, and then we put the kids to bed, and then I try my best to stay up till 9.
Yeah, yeah. Well, 9 is when I'm trying to go to bed. Now, I never do, but I want to start doing that because that seems like the good time to go to sleep. All right. Well, if people want singing lessons, then I will direct them your way.
Oh,
And
thank you so much.
hi, what's your daughter's name? Can we know? Is it?
Yes, of course. What's your name?
Radina.
Alina.
Oh my gosh, what a pretty name.
Thank you.
She's gonna be a big star. Everybody can say she was discovered on my talk show.
Oh, I can't wait.
Cool. Well, have a great class, and hopefully we can have chats like this all the time. You can sing me. You said you were going to teach me an Elton John song next time.
Yeah, I was thinking of an Elton John, that duet with Olivia Newton-John, so that would be really cool.
Wait a minute. Elton John. Wait a minute. Does Elton John sing with Olivia Newton-John?
I thought it was Don't Go Breaking My... Oh, am I wrong? I could be wrong.
Are we mixing Grease with John Travolta?
No, John. 1 second here.
Don't go breaking my heart. Don't go breaking my... I wonder who sings that.
Oh.
She's Googling.
They do sing something, but it's Candle in the Wind. I was mistaken.
Olivia Newton-John sang Candle in the Wind with Elton John?
She did.
I did not know that.
But anyways,
All
Don't
right.
Go Breaking My Heart. We'll get that one going.
All right. I'm excited. I'll be your Olivia Newton-John.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Oh, and if people want to, I guess, should we plug you? Like, if people want to look you up, do you have a website or some social media or something?
Cool. Well, if anybody wants to look me up, you can look me up at aniahejnar.wixsite.com/Ania, or you can just find me on Instagram, and that has my link to my website as well. So Ania Hejnar, ANIAHEJNAR.
All right. And I think I'm gonna help you with your social media. I'll get you like a domain name or something that's more pithy.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll talk soon. Have a good class.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.